to admit, it is getting on a bit. It is almost midnight on Monday evening. I've had a productive evening, but also like a pretty chill one, and I did want to come in and kick off this vlog before I went to bed because I do have 2 books that I'm currently reading. One of them I haven't really told you anything about because I did leave off last week's vlog pretty abruptly because I was rushing out the door to see Frozen 2. So a little bit on that, because I know a couple of you guys in the comments of last week's vlog have said that you want to know my thoughts on Frozen. I loved it. I don't know what's up with me at the moment, but I am crying a lot, just like media things like TV and movies. I did mention last week that I've been watching a lot of TV while I've been packing candle orders, and yeah, I cried all the way through Frozen. I loved it so much. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, but I would say if you haven't seen it, then go and see it. It is so good, and I think that that movie, especially like Disney movies as a whole, they have things for children and for adults. But I think that Frozen 2 has so much for adults. One of the things that I can give as an example is Olaf's song, which seems like a parody. It seems like a huge joke that you won't get if you're a kid, which I definitely appreciated. My favorite scene of the movie overall was Kristoff's song, and that is something else that you won't really appreciate if you're a child because the style of it, and I absolutely just love that moment. I also just generally think that the soundtrack was really amazing for that. I absolutely love all of the songs. As well as that, it is just generally visually stunning. It is so beautiful. The animation in that is absolutely incredible, and it was beautiful to watch. One thing that I did really like about it as well is that it's kind of like a high fantasy plotline, because we have Elsa who has these powers and they're going on a quest to find something. So I definitely appreciated that because it felt like a fantasy book, but in movie form, and I did really enjoy that aspect. The only thing that I do kind of have to criticize it on is that while it does have a very strong plot and I loved everything about it, there was a little bit that kind of, I felt like the film could have been longer. And I know most Disney movies, like the animated ones, are around 90 minutes, but I think that film could have been way longer, because one of the things I wanted to know is why. So the thing that Elsa does, I don't think it was ever really discussed why or how. Once again, I'm being vague because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but would 100% recommend going seeing Frozen if you haven't already. So this evening I have been packing candle orders. I'm super hyped to make content this week. I don't know what it is. Last week I just did not want to do anything YouTube related at all, and I was all about candles. I think it's because the candles are tapering off. I'm really excited to make content, so I have a few videos that will be going up this week. I do have a little bit of a busy week, Monday to Friday. I have planned everything out in my planner because I have so much to do and I need to make sure I have time to do everything, because Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction is visiting on Friday. She will be here for the entire weekend again, and then pretty much as soon as she leaves on Sunday, I do have the live show for the first book that I'm currently reading, which is A Dance with Dragons by George R.R. Martin. I need to finish this by Friday because I know that I will not be doing any reading when Ashley is around. So I'm currently on page 274 of this. There are just under 500 pages, so I am just over halfway. I need to be reading at least 50 pages per day, and that includes today, so I'm not going to bed until I've read a further 25 pages of this, and then that will have me on track to read 50 pages per day up until Friday. So that's what I'll be doing after this. I'm not really going to tell you what this is about because I have been reading it for quite some time. I've been reading, this has been in most of my weekly vlogs actually, because I was reading part 1 before this, but obviously book that Game of Thrones is based on, adult high fantasy. The show for this is on Sunday at 8 p.m. and it will have passed by the time you see this video, so I won't dwell on that any longer. So this is my priority for the week. I am reading a secondary book. Normally when I'm a little less busy, I would have like a longer book that I'm reading like chunks of throughout the days, and then another book that's a little bit faster paced that I tend to read in bed. But because I really need to get this done, this will be my absolute priority until it is done. I aim to have this done on Friday, but fingers crossed I can get it done a little bit earlier than that. So the second book that I'm currently reading is the one that I started on Saturday, and I fully intended to give you a synopsis and my thoughts so far, but as I said, I was rushing out to go see Frozen. But that is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. Now this is the first book I picked up off my December Bookopoly TBR, and it fulfills the prompt to read a classic. It's not like a classic in the traditional sense because it was only published in I think 1954-ish, but it is part of the Sci-Fi Masterworks collection, which is a collection of classic sci-fi. So this is the book that the I Am Legend movie starring Will Smith was based on, pretty much why I picked it up. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this because I've never read any classic sci-fi before. I'm actually really really enjoying this. First off, I'll explain the plot, but in a way that also compares it to the movie. So if you've seen the movie, you'll see how this is different. But in the movie, we have Will Smith and his dog. I believe the dog is his family dog. Will Smith is the last surviving man because there has been a plague that has taken over humanity, and he is a scientist, I think, in the movie, and he is trying to find a cure for this plague. Now, all of his family are dead, and he is very, very lonely, and he's losing his mind. It can be hard to watch at points because he is just at the end of his wits. Now, comparing that to the book, the plague that's in the movie is actually vampires, but the vampires in this are really weird. So in the book, we do follow Robert Neville, and he doesn't have a dog, although I did Google it because there's aspects of the movie that I don't like to watch, so I wanted to be prepared. There is a dog in this, but it is a dog that he finds and tames, I believe. It's not the same as the movie. But we follow Robert Neville, who is the last man alive, and everybody else is a vampire, but it's weird. It's not like traditional vampires. I don't understand why they're vampires. Essentially what happens is during the daytime, the vampires all go and hide in houses, and they're essentially comatose. At night, they all come and gather around his house and throw rocks. Some of them shout out to him. The women are very suggestive and like lift their dresses up, but there seems to also be two types of vampire. There's the vampires that are still alive and vampires that are more like traditional vampires. I don't understand the distinction between those yet. It's very much not stream of consciousness, but we're very much following Neville in a present timeline, while there are occasional flashbacks that fill in what exactly is happening. Now, I'm really intrigued about this, and I want to know what happened to make this world like it is, especially with it being vampires, because that is just, it's interesting. Now, as far as I can tell from where I'm up to, I am on page 54. The vampires were created by a plague, but I think traditional vampires came and created a plague that started to turn the rest of humanity into vampires. Now, this was written in the 50s. It is set in the 70s, so the futuristic time in this book has already passed. But it seemed in this world that there was some kind of war, and in the flashbacks, people are talking about whether it's nuclear warfare. I don't know, but I'm really intrigued. I wasn't sure how the writing of this was going to be with it being written in the 50s and it being a classic, but while it is slightly outdated, I'm still finding it very compelling, and I really want to know how this world became this world. I will say that this is very difficult to read in parts because Robert is in a completely hopeless situation. He is the last man alive. He is determined that he's not going to give in. He's quite dependent on alcohol because he has nothing else to do with his time. His days are just this endless repetition of creating garlic garlands to put across his windows to keep the vampires away and carving steaks. And during the daytime, he does go into the empty houses and stake some vampires, and that is pretty much all that fills his days. Robert also is curious about the vampires, what they are, why they are the way they are, why they don't like garlic, because if you think about it, that's really bizarre. And I'm really enjoying this almost logical scientific approach to a mythical creature. So that's how I feel about that. I do want to finish this week. I have 120 pages left, so it shouldn't be too difficult, providing that I do finish this sometime soon. I'm going to go read 25 pages, which will take me up to 300, and then hopefully I'll be able to read slightly more than 80 pages per day and finish this a little bit early so that I can maybe finish this before Ashley arrives. So those are my currently reading. I do have one more thing to show you that I'm kind of excited about. I did receive a parcel today. I'll just go with the return address. So I am still collecting my Amazon wishlist gifts. They're still all under the tree, and I'm doing a separate video. So I won't be opening anything from my Amazon wishlist in my vlogs up until after Christmas, probably after New Year. But this is something that I have been sent that is a gift, but it's not from my wishlist. I don't know what's in this. I'm very excited and I can't wait, even if it is like Christmas themed. I need to know what's in this now. So this is from Kirsty, and Kirsty does have an Etsy shop called A Stroke of Genius, and Kirsty does typography. Is it typography or is it calligraphy? I don't know the difference between the two. I can't lie. I'm an uncultured swine. In the description box, I will put a link to Kirsty's Etsy shop and also a link to her Instagram so that you can check out some of the stuff she does. I really like hand lettering and things like that, so I do really like Kirsty's feed. I'll show you, there's one of her pieces that I do really like. This one, you probably can't see that very well because of slight strobing, but she also does stuff like this. And yeah, there's just something that I really like about hand lettering, typography, calligraphy and things like that, and I find it all really appealing. But anyway, Kirsty has sent me this. I know she's been working on it for a while, but I don't know what it is, so I guess we'll find out. She did just make Gavin a Believe-a-thon calendar, I think, and I think you can get that from her Etsy store. And she showed me a preview before she sent it to Gavin. It was obviously really beautiful, but it's also just so thoughtful. So Kirsty is just a lovely human generally. But yeah, I've got my hand in here. There are quite a few things in here, so I'm just gonna start pulling things out, I guess. So first off, let's take them all out. Okay, so I have everything out. We do have a card. Oh, Kirsty. Oh, she's made us a new home card. Oh, I'm gonna have to show Curtis that. He's gone to bed, but I'll see if he's awake when I go up. But thank you so much. That is so thoughtful. Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna put that on my mantle with the rest of the new house cards. At what point do you take new home cards down? I'm unsure because it's not like a seasonal thing. Maybe sometime soon. So the first thing Kirsty, oh yes. Okay, so the first thing Kirsty has sent me is these two bookmarks, which excellent choice on the color scheme, Kirsty. I especially like this one because I love oh, I've just thought I can get galaxy nails at some point. Wow, okay. But yeah, the color scheme on these two, it's very me. I very much love it, and I love galaxy and star things. So thank you for those. She has also sent me a Christmas card, so I'll just pop this one open. And this one says, Yappy Christmas. I need to get a string up. I don't have a string for my card yet. Okay, this has a really long message in, so I'll read that when I'm done. And what do we have? Two things. Oh my god, this is beautiful. She's made me a card with my channel name on. Thank you so much. That is absolutely stunning. I've just realized it also matches my reading room. Wow. She also sent me this, which says, too many books, too few centuries, and that's a quote from Nevernight. I absolutely love these. These are, oh my god, I'm gonna frame these. I'm making a frame wall in the reading room. I just want frames everywhere, essentially, with all of my prints in. So I will very much frame these. Thank you so much, Kirsty. Honestly, this is just, I love this. I really love this. I've just noticed as well, I don't know how to show you guys, but the ink on this one changes color when you tilt it. Thank you, like honestly, you don't understand. So yeah, I'm gonna go and read this card, and I'm gonna thank Kirsty on Instagram, and then I will read a chapter or so of A Dance with Dragons Part 2, and then I will be off to bed. I do have a nail appointment tomorrow actually, so I may pop on tomorrow to show you my nails, but aside from that, I don't really know what I'm doing this week. So yeah, so I've had a little bit of a crazy day. I'm going to start off with letting you know where I'm up to in Dance with Dragons. This is the only thing I'm currently actually making progress in. And I am on page 386. There's 198 pages in this. So at this point, I do still stand to finish this on Friday. I have 110 pages left. That will hopefully all be good and I will get that done. So I've had a crazy day. A couple of things happened to me today and all things come in threes. So I'm worried because the first thing I did is when I was losing work, I broke the zip on my coat, and I only have one winter coat, like one warm thick winter coat with a hood, and I broke the zip. So I need to try and fix that actually, because at the moment the zip is stuck like halfway up the track. And I had to go to Tesco earlier, and I walked because Tesco isn't far, and because I park somewhere where like it's beneficial for me not to move because I will lose my parking space, I decided to walk, and I was freezing because I only had a thin coat on. But the reason I had to walk to Tesco this evening is because I have broken the microwave that I use to melt wax in. Swear to God, 12 orders left, and now is when my microwave breaks. Not having a great time, so I'm gonna have to try and find one tomorrow. The problem is, with working a lot and having stuff to do, I don't have time to go to somewhere where it will be cheaper, and I can't find a cheap one at any of the stores that sell microwaves anywhere near me. So yeah, I'm a little bit stuck there. So I'm a little bit stressed because of that. I do have something to show you here, something that arrived today, but the thing that I need to address is a complicated one, but I don't lie to you guys. Full transparency all the time, and I can't give you full transparency now. Some of you guys will know if you've seen it, and I'm kind of addressing it for the people that have seen it, and then the ones of you that haven't, I'm sorry, I can't say anything yet. Essentially, I received a proof this morning. I received a proof from the publisher, and I posted a picture of it on Twitter because hype, that's what booktubers and bloggers do. We review, we hype, that's our thing to do with the publisher. Now, the arc that I received is a unicorn, highly sought after unicorn, and I wasn't told, there was other people involved as well, and we weren't told that the information is on the down low right now. So I received the proof and I posted a picture, and I'm now no longer allowed to talk about that proof. So for you guys that saw it, I have it. I will be reading it. I will be reading it over Christmas week, and I'm very excited about it. I'm so excited about reading it. And for those of you that didn't see what it is, I'm very sorry that I can't tell you what it is. I really wish I could, because I'm really excited about it and I really want to review it for you guys sometime soon, but I'm not allowed to, which is unfortunate, but that is the way it is. I was very lucky to have received it, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited about reading it, and I'm sad that I can't scream about it to you guys. I'm sad that I can't review it for you guys, but yeah, when it's published, I will be doing probably like a series of videos. I will probably dedicate the week to things about that book and that author. Obviously a review will be in there, because with me reading it over Christmas week, by the time the book is published, it won't be in any of my wrap-ups. I think I'll probably like mention it in my wrap-up, like, hey, I read this thing, can't mention it. So yeah, the week that it's published, I'll do like a review, probably a book diary because of what it is, and I have had a video planned for a while surrounding that particular author, so I will also probably post that week as well. Just wanted to address it because I know that if you guys saw it on Twitter, you will be waiting for my reaction to the unboxing of that in this vlog, and I can't show you guys because I can't tell you that I've got it. And then once again, for those of you who don't know what it is, sorry I can't tell you, especially now that I've gone through this thing and told you that I have something and I can't tell you what it is. I just know that it means a lot to me that I have it, essentially, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I can't tell you, because I know how fucking annoying it is when somebody says, hey, I know this thing and I can't tell you. It's annoying and I hate that I'm doing it, but I can't tell you. So that aside, I don't know what I'm gonna do during Christmas week while I'm actually reading that book. I'm gonna have to fill the vlog full of activities to hide the fact that I can't tell you about what I'm reading. But I will open this for you guys. 2 more Amazon wishlist gifts did arrive today, so if you have sent me a gift that was supposed to arrive today, I have it safe and sound. I will be adding it to the video that I'll be posting on Christmas Eve where I unbox my Amazon gifts. I don't want people to worry that their gift hasn't reached me by not unboxing it and not thanking them on Twitter. I will, of course, when I've opened everything, I will go through and thank everybody who has sent me a gift. But this is something that I have ordered for my, well, I didn't order it exactly. Georgie, who is Niffler Reads on Instagram, I will link her bookstagram down below, and also I believe she has a blog, so I'll link that as well. But she was selling a few books over on Twitter, and she was selling a book that I really want, and it's an out of print book, but she has sprayed the edges herself, so she was selling it for really cheap. To be fair, if she wasn't selling it for really cheap, I would still have bought it off her. But funny story, I saw what she was selling and I commented and I said, I can't believe you're selling this book and you didn't tell me. And I'd read the comments and somebody had asked how much, and she said that somebody else was interested in it, so she wasn't selling it right that moment. So I was like, damn girl. And then I found out that the other person who'd said that they were interested in it was Ryan. Then I messaged Ryan really angrily and I was like, don't you dare buy that book, you know that I need that book. And then he said that he was buying it for me anyway, so yeah, I shot myself in the foot there. But the book that I got from Georgie is Stormdancer by Jay Kristoff in the UK hardback. This is the first book in Jay Kristoff's first series, and there is something really weird going on with the books in this series. This series was published 3 times. So the first time it was published, the first 2 books were printed in hardback, but the third wasn't. And then the other 2 rounds of publishing, there is a standard paperback set and there is also a larger paperback set, and it is so hard to buy the books because if you go on Waterstones, I haven't been on recently, but when I was looking to purchase them, they weren't in stock, so I couldn't buy them. And then Jade bought me the last book off my Amazon wishlist for my birthday, because I haven't read that book. I have read the first two, and that arrived in standard paperback size. But then if you go and look at the second book on Amazon, that isn't available on Amazon in standard paperback size. And then I don't want to buy them off eBay because I don't know what size I'm getting, because a lot of the sellers on eBay just like put up a picture of the book and they're like not guaranteed to be this cover, so you have no idea what edition you're getting. So I really wanted the hardbacks because they're beautiful, and the spines also look really good next to the Nevernight spines because they're monochrome with a little bit of colour. But I can't get the third book in hardback, so I really didn't know what to do about it. But I saw that Georgie was selling this and it was only £5 including postage. So yeah, I snatched it up, and I'll get the second book, and then I'll just have to deal with having the third book in paperback. So for those of you that don't know, this is, as I said, Jay Kristoff's first series. It is an East Asian inspired series. It is dystopian-esque, but it also has a lot of fantasy elements and sci-fi elements. It's one of those books that does not fit into one specific genre, because I would say it has equal parts sci-fi and fantasy in it, because there are mythical creatures and things that really bring in the fantasy, but it's also kind of steampunky. So the plot of this is that we follow Yukiko, and her father is the Shogun's beast hunter, and the Shogun is essentially this spoiled brat, and one day he pulls in his Beastmaster and the Beastmaster's daughter, who's our main character, and says that he wants a thunder tiger. Now, as I said, this series has dystopian aspects, so the country that this is set in is very, very polluted, because they use every part of the lotus plant to fuel absolutely everything. So there's an epidemic similar to lung cancer that's going around, because some people smoke parts of the lotus plants, and that is giving them this disease. They use it to fuel things, so all of the emissions are this plant, and everybody has to walk around with respirators on because they can't breathe the air. Now, naturally, this has led to most of the wildlife and all of the plants, all of the animals, either being extinct or being very close to extinction. And the Shogun has decided that he wants a thunder tiger, and the thunder tiger is a mythical beast, so there's no record of whether it ever existed to start off with, and even if it did exist, it is highly unlikely that it would still exist with all of this pollution. However, the Shogun says that if they don't bring him his thunder tiger, then he will kill them all, and so they do not have much of a choice but to go on this wild goose chase for an animal that probably doesn't exist. So I really love this series. I didn't get to the third book. I think the first book in the series was one of the last books that I read last year, and the second book was the very first book that I read this year. So I've read like 93 books since I read the second book in this series. But I do really love Jay Kristoff, so I'm just fully gonna reread the entire series. I don't care, I will quite happily do that. As soon as I started rereading Nevernight, I definitely wanted to reread this. So that's all I have for you now. Once again, sorry I can't tell you about the thing. It's killing me more than it's killing you guys, honestly, it really is. But right now I have to film the last clip for another video and then get that whole video edited. Luckily it's not too long, so I'm gonna go do that. Okay guys, so I don't want to jinx myself and I don't want to be dramatic, but I think, fingers crossed, I am currently pouring my last candles of 2020, and I am so ready for this to be done. And by 2020, I mean 2019, because 2020 hasn't even started yet, and I just said that it was over. But that's it, I'm done. These are the last candles of 2019, and I'm done. And yeah, it's 1 AM and I need to shower. It's fun.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Here.
Hi. That was a really creepy hi.
So Ashley's here for the weekend. I think I've mentioned it in this vlog. Well, I do that thing, you know, where you have no recollection of what you've recorded. But I think I mentioned that Ashley's here this weekend. So we're doing Christmas presents. Ashley's just done hers over in her vlog. So if you want to see what an amazing friend I am and what good gifts I buy people, then you should check out Ashley's vlog. Which is probably going to go up before mine because I probably won't have time to edit this week. Crack this open, see what's in it. Oh, you've got a list, haven't you? She's wrote me a list of the order that I have to. Oh, I'll
it's written. Does that? It's written on the stuff.
Okay.
So there's some the little stuff you can.
Okay, open this one after the other suspiciously book-shaped gift. Okay, so I'll just. Here we go. I wonder what's in those lush bags. Probably chocolate. Okay, so what's this one? Keep the fingers on.
It's mainly just the
actual
ones.
wrapped ones. Okay. Alright, so we'll get the lush stuff out because fucking hell. I'm having a very lushy Christmas. This bag smells amazing. Oh, you got me a Christmas card. Didn't get you one. I'll open that later. Okay, so we have a candy cane reusable bubble bar. I love how they say what's on them, but I have to open them anyway because I just want to look at it. Even though I go into Lush like once every other week, so I know what they have.
I can't even remember like what I bought.
Doesn't smell like a candy cane. I thought it'd be minty. I can't do this.
There we go.
There we go. I can't remember what this is now because I just spent so long doing that. It's a candy cane reusable bubble bar. Do I scoop it back out my bath?
I think you're supposed to just hold it under the tap, not chuck the entire thing in.
It's just the way it says reusable. Like I don't generally throw a full bubble bar into my bath. Scoop the bubbles back out. Yeah, it doesn't actually make like the bubbles. You just like scoop them off the top of your water. Golden Wonder.
I feel like you might slightly hate this.
Why? Oh, it's the present. Is this the one with all the glitter? Yeah, it's the glittery one. Oh, there we go. This is the Golden Wonder bath bomb. This is the one that leaves like a gold film across your bath water.
And your bath, so enjoy cleaning that.
I don't know if you noticed actually, but I haven't cleaned the bath properly from when I used the black one with the gunky slime. I got most of it out, but I think I've still got like grey marks on the side of the bathing places.
Nice.
And you know, because you're here, I've skipped bath night this week. I did shower. I washed.
It's just why we got her Lush things, because she just
didn't have a bath because I was busy last night. I'll just put 2 bath bombs in my next bath. This one's had. How did you manage to buy me bath bombs that I don't have? Because I've been buying a lot recently.
I don't know, to be fair.
This one's Santa's Grotto. There we go. This one looks like it has gold in it as well. Oh, yes, thank you.
What?
And that's all she bought me. No. We also have, oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I've inhaled the bath bomb dust again. Have to keep the fingers warm, as it says on, there we go, to keep the fingers warm.
I think it's not that exciting. I have some myself and use them all the time. So.
I do actually need some.
They're like fingerless.
Oh, but like the kind of like sleeve, hand sleeves.
Just because like you're going to be working on a Mac and stuff soon, so it's all going to be like, your hands will be...
You trying to tell me that my house is cold?
Yes.
It is actually. And I've sat you like in the kitchen doorway where there's like a draft. God, these are heavy.
I was surprised by how heavy they are because they're not even that big.
No, they're like all really small. Right, what have we got?
That's one that you open after.
After the other suspiciously book-shaped, after all of them. Right, okay. Number
it's
one.
Just that one with the note, I think.
I'm guessing it's like 1, 2, 3 because I got them out of the bag like this.
I mean, I hope so now because I didn't realise I didn't number the other 2.
I know you already have this, but you said you didn't want to read because your edition is bad. Have I read it?
No.
But oh, my camera's dying. Well, that's it.
Tune in next time.
I'm just gonna change my battery. We're back. Just to recap, apparently I own this book, but I don't like the edition. I own a lot of books, right? Okay.
To be fair, this conversation was from ages ago, and I made a note and was like,
first conversation we ever had.
yeah.
I remember
You didn't
this.
know me at this point. It was via like Twitter.
Was it actually?
No.
I was gonna say. Well, I'm just gonna
I'll go get the receipts.
take a while on the
You
note.
don't have to undo it. You can just.
Oh yeah. Oh no, you one of those rappers. Like seals all of the edges. You like me now? Oh my god, you are Granny Ash. Well, the pages look like pages.
I'm glad.
No clues there. It's a book, guys.
Oh god.
You didn't. You didn't. Oh my god. Why is my white balance so bad? It's because you're white. Makes me white. That's like an that's like something about Mean Girl. You're from Africa? Why are you white? She got me the Fellowship of the Ring, which means that this is probably all of the Lord of the Rings and the hardback editions that I wanted, which is just...
Is it the ones you wanted?
I think so.
Because there's quite a few different editions, and I was like, I don't know which ones to get. I just want to get you prettier ones. The thing.
I think it's these ones. I always look for them on Amazon and I just can't figure out which ones it was that I saw. I have to go into Waterstones and see them with all the others to know which one it was that I wanted. But yeah, I think these are the ones that I wanted. At least you've left the corner open. My mum wouldn't have done that. She would have sealed that as well. Because I've got fake nails now, everything's harder to open. The Two Towers. I could have done that with the first one. But I didn't. Oh my god. Now I feel like I have to read them soon. Like Gavin read them all recently. I don't know how difficult his writing is. Have you read them all?
I've read The Hobbit, but The Hobbit's like a kid's book compared to Lord of the Rings apparently. But I am thinking of reading them soon, so gonna read.
Woo. Another one.
I don't know, just to add to the list.
Elderling Long. Which has no context in this. It's funny because it wouldn't actually, it would be pronounced Elderlingalong. No, Elderlingalong. No, no need to make it not weird. It's because like I accentuate lingalong, but it wouldn't actually be that. You'd accentuate Elderling along.
It's what's just happened.
The Return of the King. So they're the Lord of the Rings. We have one left, which says, open this one after the other suspiciously book-shaped gifts. It doesn't match and it's secondhand from me, but I had a spare copy and it made sense to give you the missing one. Is it The Hobbit? Might be The Hobbit.
I wonder what it is.
In which case you've got another gift secondhand from me, but a third hand because I bought it secondhand.
What?
Lifelike.
Oh. Did not follow that process then.
Oh no,
hands.
You have sealed the corners on this one. I'm just punching myself.
Are you okay?
The Hobbit by
So I know
J.R. Tolkien.
I know it doesn't match, but I can get you the matching one.
These are so heavy. And there we have. We both did exactly the same thing pretty much. Gifts that you're gonna have to go and find out. Thank you.
Alright.
Oh, it's Christmas. Right, Christmas is over now.
She says, the amount of parcels that are behind it.
Don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so I got me some books. But we're packing candle orders now. Yeah,
We're opening Santa's workshop.
we are. For the last packaging of 2020, fingers crossed, hopefully. This is the last. I know, I feel like we're gonna pack and then I'm gonna realize that I'm missing like one candle. And then I'm gonna cry. But that's, we'll vlog the crying later.
Hey girl.
I mean, I know you can't tell that it's Gavin.
Alright. I'm so cute.
He's so pretty.
Like, oh my god.
You look like Curtis. Hey, so I'm just about to go to bed. It is like nearly 1 AM. I've just been talking to Gav, Cody and Ashley after the Dance with Dragons live show. So we were talking for a couple of hours, but on Friday I did finish Dance with Dragons part 2 after the feast, as you will know if you saw the live show for this book. I obviously didn't update you guys because Ashley was here. Let me just adjust this a little. So I gave this 4 stars. I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the first half of this. So with this being 2 halves of the same book, it would work out as a 4.5 rating overall. The things I didn't like so much about this is that I think I've discussed over the last few weeks that one of my favorite things about this book or this series is the magical aspects, and I definitely noticed that when I was reading the first half, and it had so much magic in it that wasn't in the rest of the series. So the first half of A Dance with Dragons does run parallel to A Feast for Crows, and this one is called After the Feast, presumably because this is where the timelines join again and then everything's kind of running at the same time. So we did have the reintroduction of the perspectives that are in A Feast for Crows because they both follow different character perspectives, but some of the character perspectives in this are not my favorites. So we have Tyrion in here, and the first part of Tyrion's journey in the first half of Dance with Dragons was really good. He was traveling, we were seeing new parts of the world, but the setting that he's in the second half is just not my favorite. And Tyrion has some issues, I can't lie, but I just didn't like the way that he was treating some people. It definitely comes down to the way that he was brought up and the way that he was conditioned to see himself and others like him. So there is a reason for it. It's not just nastiness for the sake of being nasty, but it was not nice to read. I didn't like it as much. And yeah, a lot of the perspectives in this one just weren't as interesting. The stuff that Daenerys is doing in this one, it's at the point, and I agreed when she was at the same point in the show, her things that she was doing and what was going on with her were just not that interesting. And it's the same for the book, and I'm just not that interested in that particular aspect of her story overall. And Arya was more interesting than she has been previously. It wasn't the most enjoyable things happening in here. We also have the reintroduction of the Iron Islands and people like Asha and Victorian, and they're kind of traveling. They're all in in-between places at the moment, so they're not really doing anything. Everything is just chronicling their journey to, I'm assuming, the next part of their stories. So 4 stars for this. Dance with Dragons, the first half of Dance with Dragons has been my favorite in the series so far. Overall, because I did give this book 4.5 stars because I didn't like the second half, I would probably say that A Game of Thrones or A Feast for Crows is my favorite book in the series. A Storm of Swords I liked at the time because it was super action packed, but thinking back on it, I probably should have given it 4 stars. And A Clash of Kings is definitely my least favorite. And I am now done with the A Song of Ice and Fire series, which is insane because I've been reading this for the entirety of this year, but I'm really proud of myself. I'm glad that I read it. There's a whole lot of value in here. I really want to read The Winds of Winter now, because something that did happen in this book started happening in A Feast for Crows. But obviously there are differences between the show and the book, but there are so many more differences at this point in the series. And there's like characters in here that aren't in the show that are going to be really major in the coming books. I'm anticipating where that's going because it's going to be so completely different from the show, especially because the show had to go in its own direction at this point because they didn't have any more books to work off. So I really want to know what's going to happen in the further books. We ran through a few predictions and stuff in the live show, and it's very exciting stuff. So that's done, but it wasn't on my Bookopoly TBR. And I am still currently reading I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. I haven't had a lot of time to read today. Well, I would have done if I wasn't up talking, but I am on page 107 of this, so I have 50 pages left. We'll probably finish this tomorrow. I'm really enjoying this, and I'm just so interested in what's going on. And this is both emotionally impactful and very intriguing because, as I said to you at the beginning of the week, we have the loneliness and the desolation of this character who's trying to survive as literally the last person alive when the world has been taken over by this vampiric plague, and he's currently investigating that. He's trying to find a cure, which is just, it really says something about his character because he is doing it for a sense of purpose, because he's sick of the monotony of just reinforcing his house, etc. But also just to have the motivation to do that when he's not a scientist. Even if he did find a cure, he can't distribute it widely. Yeah, and I think based on how the movie ends, if it's a similar tone in the ending of the book, then it's going to be not nice. So I'm reading this. I will probably finish this tomorrow, and I hope I do, because I will be starting my buddy read with Gavin of the Tolt maybe tomorrow. I've just spoken to him. He said, we'll definitely start it this week, but didn't set a day. I assumed that book would be fast paced, but as I said, I've just been speaking with Cody, who has already read it, and she said that the first 200 pages were a drag, and like me, she flew through the first 2 books in the series. So I'm interested to see if I can fly through that. But I did wrap up all of my candle orders on Friday, so I'm free from candles. I'm excited to crack on with making content and also reading a whole ton, and I just feel like a huge weight has been lifted. It's kind of a catch-22 because I do still have stuff to do YouTube wise. I've got a few things to catch up on because I do like having my end of year content out on time, and then Christmas prep and stuff, but I do feel like a huge weight has been lifted. I just need to try and stay a little bit motivated. It is not the time to sink into full rest mode yet, and I need to remember that. So I do also still have 1 week left at work, but next week is going to be very exciting because it's my last week at work before Christmas, so we will be heading into full rest mode. And I will also be buying my Mac next week, hopefully on Friday. I'm going to go and see if they have it in stock. If not, I'll order it into store, but I will be making the decision, paying the money, and we'll be getting a new computer just in time for my week of content that I usually put out in January. So currently in my crowdfund, we have £755. Thank you from the bottom of my heart if you have donated. Thank you so much. If you haven't donated, thank you so much for still sticking around, watching my content, supporting my channel. That is enough. That means the world to me. You don't have to do anything extra. And you know what? You don't even have to do that. I'm still happy. I'm happy right now. I'm having a good day, even though I've got stuff to do that I haven't done. So yeah, thank you for the credit. I'm a little bit overwhelmed with that, but I'm eternally grateful because my YouTube channel has been a journey. It's a journey for me, and I'm sharing that journey with you, and I'm glad that we're doing it together. Yeah, I'm struggling for words. I struggle for words to convey feelings, I have to admit. I'm not an overly emotional person, so I don't really know what to say, but just know that I'm grateful. So this vlog is going up on Tuesday because I spent all my time talking to my friends and didn't edit it. Literally all day I've been socializing, which is intense. So I'm gonna go now because I'm gonna go to bed. It is almost 1 AM. Might read a little bit if Curtis is still awake, or I'm just gonna go to sleep because Ashley will not let me sleep this weekend. She kept coming in and waking me up. So I'm gonna see if I can go get some sleep, and I will check in with you guys next week. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.